Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to explore something really quite relevant right now. It's a question that's moving out of theory and, well, into actual job interviews. It's about figuring out our human value as AI gets more and more advanced. Imagine you're in an interview, it's going fine. Then the hiring manager asks, point blank, tell me why we should hire you instead of an AI agent. Wow. I mean, that really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? How do you even begin to answer that? What's the core of your unique worth?
Yeah, that question really strikes at the center of work today. So what we want to do in this discussion is look at the particular abilities people offer, especially as AI systems get better and better at handling information, data tasks, standard operations, that kind of thing. Our goal is really to identify what makes people truly needed in this changing environment.
That interview scenario really frames it perfectly. It's asking for more than just skills on a resume, right? It's asking for something deeper. So when a company asks that, what are they actually searching for? What abilities really count when you're compared not to another person, but to a machine?
Well, our sources give us some good pointers here. If we look at what AI systems are really good at, there's a definite pattern. They're amazing at crunching huge amounts of data, finding patterns humans might miss using logic based on that data. And they handle repetitive work incredibly fast and accurately. Think about, analyzing financial reports, managing logistics, maybe even drafting basic documents.
Sets a high bar for pure efficiency then.
Absolutely. Knowing what they do well helps us see where humans really stand apart. We either offer something completely different or we add a layer on top that AI just can't. These systems can process information globally in seconds, work nonstop. It's a different scale.
Okay, so if AI takes care of the massive data processing, the logic, the repeatable stuff, what's left for us? What are the things that, no matter how smart these systems get, they just can't copy? What makes us genuinely necessary?
That's the exact question our sources tackle. And they point to a few key areas. The first one is really about understanding and dealing with complex human interactions. You could call it emotional acuity. This isn't just recognizing an emotion like a label, it's genuine understanding.
Yes.
Feeling with someone. It's about building real connections, sensing the mood in a room, building trust. That's subtle stuff.
Crucial for teamwork, for leadership.
Exactly. Leading teams, handling customer issues, negotiating tricky situations. All that relies heavily on this.
So it's about connection, not just calculation.
Precisely. Humans deal with social situations, reading between the lines, We notice small shifts in tone, body language, even silence, and we adjust. Algorithms don't have that life experience to draw on, and think about inspiration. A great leader or a mentor doesn't just give instructions, they build excitement, they encourage people to work together, create a shared sense of direction.
But couldn't AI learn to spot emotional signals? Maybe even generate responses that seem empathetic?
It can definitely learn to identify patterns linked to emotions. A smile, a raised voice, sure. But our sources draw a really important line here. An AI might predict what a person might be feeling based on data, but it doesn't experience the emotion itself. It has no inner life. It doesn't have personal values guiding its choices, especially when things get ethically complicated.
Okay. So it lacks that internal moral compass that comes from lived experience.
Exactly. Without actually living through things, feeling joy or sorrow or responsibility, an AI can't truly understand the weight of a decision. It can't grasp the real human consequences in the same way. It follows rules and probabilities, not a genuine sense of right or wrong or real care for someone's well-being. That gap, that lack of inner experience, makes our emotional depth irreplaceable.
That distinction is really clear. AI processes about emotions but doesn't have them. Okay, so moving beyond the emotional side, what about how we think? Can AI truly come up with something brand new, or is it more like a very sophisticated remixer?
That leads us right to the second area of unique human strength, inventive and forward-looking thought. And this is more than just shuffling existing pieces around. It's about real originality, ideas that often come from intuition, from our varied backgrounds, our unique ways of seeing the world. When we talk about invention here, it's about coming up with a genuinely fresh concept, a breakthrough that changes how we see a problem, not just making an existing solution a bit better.
So maybe an AI could write 1,000 ad slogans based on data, but it probably wouldn't invent the idea of advertising itself. Or think up a completely new kind of product nobody's imagined.
That's a great way to put it. Our sources really emphasize this. AI is fantastic at combining information from its training data, finding patterns, making content that fits those patterns. It can generate things that look new, but often it's built directly on what's already out there. Real originality often comes from a unique viewpoint, a sudden insight, maybe a deep feel for human needs that isn't just statistical. So the person who does well in this future needs to show they can dream up possibilities, find solutions that aren't just the logical next step based on data.
It sounds like it's less about task execution and more about setting the direction.
Yes, exactly. And it also involves deep thinking, questioning assumptions. Not just taking the situation at face value, but really asking why. Why is it done this way? What if we tried something totally different? It's about having a clear vision, a sense of purpose guiding your thinking. Asking those why and what if questions, not just the how to. That kind of imaginative push is very human. It's like deciding the destination, not just optimizing the route the map gives you.
This whole conversation suggests it's not about humans becoming obsolete, but maybe our roles shifting. So is the core idea here humans competing against machines? Or is there a better way to think about it? How should someone actually answer that interview question? Why hire you, not an AI?
Our sources are pretty consistent on this point. The strongest answer isn't about fighting against AI or trying to pretend it isn't useful. That would be missing the bigger picture. Instead, the idea is to present a positive case, to explain how you, with your specific human abilities, would work with AI, how you'd use it as a tool to amplify what you do best.
So it's not me versus the machine, it's me using the machine to do more.
Precisely. The way our materials describe the future of work isn't a contest where one side wins and the other loses. It's seen as a partnership. Human creativity, emotional understanding, careful consideration, these guide the raw power of AI. Think about AI doing the heavy lifting with data, the research, the repetitive admin work. That frees up people to focus on the new ideas, the tricky relationship stuff, the big picture strategy.
Okay.
So candidates really need to show they understand themselves, their unique strengths, and also have a perspective on how to make that human-machine teamwork happen. It's about showing you get the strengths of both and how to combine them for better results than either could manage alone.
This has really highlighted the enduring place for uniquely human strengths, hasn't it? We've touched on empathy, genuine invention, asking bigger questions, the ability to connect with and motivate others, all things that seem quite safe from automation, even as AI gets more sophisticated. It definitely gives you something to reflect on personally. When you think about your own career path, what qualities are you going to focus on developing? What will you highlight when you're working in environments where people and AI operate together? So maybe a final thought for you listening. Looking ahead, what specific human quality do you think will be most valuable when working alongside AI? And how could you deliberately show that quality in your own work?